Hey, welcome to Tricks Off-Road Adventures. So, my last video, we got to see the sluice working. This is an adoration to that video, and I'm just going to go through here and narrate this for you and give you the after-action review on this video. Hey, there you are. Welcome to see, guys. Tricks Off-Road Adventures. Good to see you. Hey, so you see there's black sand all through this. This machine's been running. This is the second part of the video, so I've already run a fair amount of material. I am using a number 1 shovel there. It is a smaller shovel head, and it was easier to get the dirt in there. And when your confidence is low, you're just wanting to get the whole thing correct, make sure it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. And at this time, I had only panned out 1 day's run before, used my power panner, which I only had at the time. I would end up winning a gold cleanup dream sluice, a little 3D printed model that goes in a bucket. That would have been nice to have early on. I like to get my gold out of the dirt as quick as possible. I like to run the dirt, get it cleaned out, and look at it. And some people pan down at the creek and all that. I keep all my concentrates. If I mess up, I can go back and redo it. So here you're going to see me moving some rocks. There's a fair bit amount of clay on these rocks, so you want to make sure that you get those clean there. And we just throw them out to the side. No big deal. Keep brushing them down. That dream mat was holding material so well that I don't know the proper protocol, but I was gentle with the rocks and kept them moving with the water. Nothing floated out of any of those dream mat cells. So that was good. I'm running a 2-inch line off of a 2-inch gas pump from Harbor Freight here. I'm actually running full 120 feet from a creek, pulling out of a creek and putting into a settling pond. You see me moving there, more rocks. Once those rocks end up down in the second box, I'm not too worried about it. That second box is just mainly to catch the black sands because I like to experiment with that stuff. I bring it home, can crush it down, run it through several other processes, and you can usually recover gold out of it. If there's nothing in there, there's nothing to recover, but it's always good to look and see what's going on. This material that we're digging is 16 feet down, an old riverbank, old river bar, gravel bar. We don't know where the bedrock is for certain because the backhoe only digs 16 feet. So, but there was good gold. I'd say there's probably 1/3 of a gram per ton in here. Pretty standard. You're not going to get rich this way, but if you can catch all this gold, you can catch anything. So a lot of this is what they call fly poop gold. Very small, very granular, almost the size of sand grains. But that stuff's hard to catch because it's so small, it's light. Even though gold is heavy, that stuff is light. So if you can catch it all, and like you see up there in my dream mat, you see all them black sands in there, that's good. That's good. The whole thing's running well. I was just cleaning out some tailings there to get some better flow, keep things moving. It's always good to do some housekeeping around your machine, between shovelfuls, get it running. That clean water flowing over it doesn't hurt anything. If anything, it just cleanses it all and condenses it down. So, again, back with that number 1 shovel, baby shovel. It was easier to put it in that way and control it than the big shovel just plopping in. Now, I will tell you from experimenting day after this video, I did use the big shovel, the yellow shovel, and I just ran the dirt as fast as I could. Like, I'm not making a big dent in this pile here, you can see. But the last 2 days, the whole goal was to see if I could shovel the whole pile. That pile was taller than me, probably 15 feet around across. So it was a big pile of dirt. I got it down to a knee wall a little crescent knee wall. That was where I tapped out. But yeah, I ran the big shovel, and as you can see, most everything is staying up into the green mat. While the water is dirty coming down, the rocks are rolling down there. There's no clay clots or anything like that really rolling down, going into the second box. However, when I used the bigger shovel, I had to put the same technique, put the shovel in sideways, and let the water start washing some of the material down. You couldn't just plop the whole shovel in. So let it rest there, start washing the material down. There was a lot of material, and the clay balls were starting to go down to the second box. Now, when I did get home, I cleaned up those tailings, and I did find that there was gold in the second box. So during this video, I'm only using the first half of the sluice because there was no gold anywhere below it. But when I run it faster off video, there was gold all the way through. So 5 foot of sluice box is what I ended up with there. Hodgepodge what I had together to make it work. Worked great. I caught a bunch of garnets and black sands and all that. And again, great concentrates to work with, play with. Could always add your gold back to it at home and repeat the process and, test your machines. So this was a great first test for this machine. I'll probably do some more modification, maybe something a little better to hold it all around. Moving it around was another pain, so that was a learning lesson. But yeah, great first setup, and definitely this is about as easy as it's going to get digging off of a pile. So the dirt was mostly broke up, and yeah, there are rocks to deal with, but they're not that big. So hope you guys enjoy this, and come back for more. Now, another thing I want to talk about is, why are the shovels in a bucket? And you notice various buckets sitting around my work site. Probably looks like I'm tripping over them and all that. So when you're messing with any material that's got high clay in it, you need to be aware that the gold can get stuck to the clay, and the clay can just be like a parachute and just drag the gold right out the end of your box, never even collecting it. And man, is that a missed opportunity. If the gold goes through your box and you took the time to shovel that dirt and you lost it, what a tragedy. What a tragedy. Can't even imagine. So I'm very particular on capturing as much of the gold as possible. I don't need to find a lot, I just need to have a good capture rate. And I try to strive for 100%, but nobody's perfect. So I think I'm pretty well in the 90 to 95% capture rate. If I lose anything, it's very small. So I noticed that the shovel heads, when you get them wet and put them back into the semi-dry dirt, start gumming up. That's what we call it with clay material, that gum up. And it makes the shovel heavier, yes, and it holds less, and it just makes a mess. So I would take the shovel and put it into the bucket, wash it off. Well, over a whole day of running, I would have almost 3/4 of a bucket of clay material that I've been washing off these shovels the whole time. So carefully, I would pick this bucket up and use my water hose and start spraying it out and letting it go through the dream map. But when you're out watching other people prospect, watch what they're doing. Watch where that shovel goes. It's like a fork and a spoon. It should be clean. You shouldn't be putting it down on the floor, any crazy places. And when you see people banging their shovel on the ground and knocking all that clay off and then walking it into the dirt, they're never getting the gold. They're depositing it right back where they're standing. So I'm very critical on that. I'm using my effort to get that dirt out of the ground. I want as much gold out of that dirt as possible. And if there's a limited amount there, that means I have to be really good at cleaning it up. So yeah, back into that bucket goes a shovel. It was a good resting spot. Loosens all that gum up on that shovel. Give it a good shake a little later, and it all comes off. Get your rocks out of there. Clean all that sluice box back up. Get it flowing again so that the next rounds of shovels flow freely through top to bottom. And examine what's going on. I'm rubbing my hands across there, rubbing some clay into that grating. There were clay balls. You put them down into that miner's moss, and it ain't going nowhere. It's expanded steel grating with miner's moss under it, and then a V mat under that. And while the V mat always had a lot of mica shiny in it, I didn't see any gold down in the V mat, so that's good. Like I said, I did find in nose tailings down there gold later, but that's just because I was shoveling so much through this system that you needed all 5 foot to get the gold out. So, works well. I love it. Now we're going to move on to some gold panning here. This is the gold through my Dream Mat cons, so you can see the size of the grains of sand and the gold compared to it. But if you can see your gold coming through, I only pan it down until I can just see the gold peeking through, and then I just set all the cons off. There's no sense in wasting cons and losing gold and all that when I just take it back. And I've got a better process. You'll see it here, the gold spiral, the gold miner. And it just walks that gold right up those spirals, and it'll deposit it in the hole, which goes into a cup out the back side. And in that cup, it virtually cleans up your gold. I mean, that was a pan of gold and run through that thing into that little 2 ounce cup. There's another pan of good gold. That was what I was catching early on. That was the first day morning run. Those larger chunks were pieces that were seeded in at the event. I was going to compare morning to afternoon run, and turns out morning and afternoon both had gold dropped in my box. So I didn't get a true representation till second and third day of what was going on. But watching gold being seeded into your box gives you confidence that that box is going to run well. And to find it, you don't see it the whole time. It's going to get covered up. And you're going to think you've probably lost it. But when you see that gold come out and you see those chunkies in there with the fly poop, that tells me what was dropped in versus what I was getting. And if I kept the big stuff and got the small stuff, that's a winner. That's a game winner every time. Proficient prospecting. Now you see me throwing that rock in that bucket. Yeah, I'm not going to waste my time back breaking all them rocks when I can just throw them in that bucket, swish it around, and then run it through a classifier. I bought a Whispering Fab classifier from up in Canada, from Tyler. Works well. I can dump, those rocks into that thing, mostly washed off because they've been soaking in water, and any gold that was stuck to the clay on the rock is not lost. Again, you want to catch everything that goes through your sluice box, but you also want to be able to get the gold in your sluice box. And people that are banging the shovels on the ground, knocking all that clay off and then walking it in, throwing the rocks away that aren't clean, you're not getting all your gold. And I may not find a lot of gold, but I pride myself that I can capture near all of it that's in that dirt, whatever it may be. Rest of it's by luck. All right, well, have a great day. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Tricks Off-Road Adventures.